What's up, guys? Powerbang here, bringing you guys a strategy session on Th9 Laloon. This is a strategy, guys, that has kind of fallen off the radar for a lot of clans, a lot of players out there, simply because it's not the flavor of the week when it comes to the current meta. You've been seeing a lot of Valkyries and bowlers lately. Laloon's kind of fallen off the map, so I wanted to bring you guys some attacks today to show you what to look for on a base, and also just to kind of show you guys that it still works just fine, and it's a very, very good and reliable attack if things are set up properly in the base. So one of the first things that you want to look for against some of these meta bases is that offset queen. You want to figure out where she's at. And then also figure out if there is an easy air defense to pick up that's right next to her as well. Remember the keys and the objectives that you're trying to accomplish, and that is taking out an air defense, taking out the enemy archer queen, and getting the clan castle taken care of. After you've kind of identified, yes, you know, we can lure the clan castle here by coming in from the top, as well as maybe getting this air defense down, getting this queen taken care of. That's going to allow you to then look at the rest of the base. Now, you want to figure out if the air targeting defenses in the other areas of the base are in range of the air defenses themselves. Now, what I mean by this archer tower here, you can see that an air defense is in range of that archer tower's radius. Same thing with these X-bows. This is the only one pointed to the air, and it is in range, obviously, of the air defense behind it. Then you're going to see the archer tower over here is in range of that air defense. Even the wizard tower is in range of the air defense as well. Over on the far side, same thing holds true. You've got all of these buildings are in range of the air defenses. So what that means is when you park a lava hound on top of the air defense and it's sitting there, that means that all the defenses in the area are shooting that lava hound and not your balloon. So they head in scot-free and are able to take out the defenses without really any risk of being shot down. Now, you want to control your lava hound entry. We'll go ahead and play the attack here. You want to control those lava hounds to come at angles where you soak up as many air traps, air bombs, seeking air mines, etc., so that the loons don't have to. Now, when you're taking out just one air defense, you want to make sure that you try to keep it to one golem on the entry, if any golems at all. Sometimes you don't have to take an air defense at all, and you can actually penta the base. And that all depends on how easy the archer queen is to access, how much you have to invest. But as a good rule, one golem per air defense, and then you want to make sure that you can really, really easily get to that queen. So as you can see here, all he does is, funnel a little bit, send in the king, send in the queen behind the golem, and once that air defense is down, the clan castle is taken care of. In come the loons. You want to make sure this is a key. Now, this wizard tower here, if you look right here, this is the first defense in the defensive ring, I call it. So if you know you want to start a Laloon on the upper right side of this map, you don't want to come in from the right side where these balloons are and target this archer tower first, because then they move to the mortar, then to this archer tower here, and they kind of skip this whole section up here where that wizard tower is. In any Laloon raid, make sure that you hit that first building so that you don't skip any. This means that you take the section out and the threat of the defense in its entirety right off the bat. But also, very importantly, you don't want to have to come back for an air targeting, especially an air targeting defense later on in the raid where the loons are probably low health and they've got to travel across the center of the base all the way to the other side, probably absorbing any bombs that were missed in order to get that lone defense. So make sure you start at the beginning of the trash ring, and then as you're kind of sending your loons in, just make sure that you've got hounds ahead of them. Make sure that they arrive at the air defense that's up before the previous one explodes. And with the level 4 lava hounds these days, guys, it's very wise to take a level 4 lava hound in the clan castle. They can tank for an incredibly long time. And what I wanted to show you here is any time on the end of the defensive ring, and that is where the defenses end, which is over here on the top left. If there's a wizard tower there and your balloons are all clumped up like this, the last thing that you want to have happen is a wizard tower fire at this big group of balloons, weaken them all to the point where you lose quite a few, maybe coupled with air bomb explosions, etc. What you want to always do is send in a backside balloon or two to target any wizard towers, or at least get those balloons into the radius of the wizard tower. Now, once you've done that, you know that the wizard tower, even if that lava hound explodes, that wizard tower will focus on the solo balloon and not the giant group. But as you can see here, that threat is eliminated, and he's able to take out the rest of this base. All the lava hounds have popped. If you do have any spare wizards, you want to make sure that you drop them on the end of the trash ring, opposite the side where your loons are ending. So some quick tips there on the Laloon action, but we're going to watch a couple more raids here to see exactly how this is done. Now, when you look at this base, you can see he's going to bring a golem. Notice how there is an air defense right here next to the queen. So he can control his entry angle here to take that air defense out and get the queen. Now, one thing I want to point out in this base, now this could pose a challenge here, because the air defense is not necessarily in range of any of the central core of this base, the wizard towers. There are some Teslas that are going to pop up there as well. Those are going to be a problem, guys. Now, Tisdale does a great job here of actually eliminating that threat by controlling the timing of his deployment. That's another thing that you can control when you deploy your Laloon raid. In go the heroes here. They're going to use a jump spell. The poison spell is on the queen, but they take out that queen very quickly. Now, the king, the queen, the golem, they are going to hop the wall here and then push in eventually, get the air defense as well as the CC. So again, guys, objectives: air defense, queen, CC. The top priority is getting that queen down, and then if you're going to bring a golem, get an air defense along with it. So that all is happening successfully, but now watch. When he sends in his first group of balloons, remember, we do not want to miss the first defense on that defensive ring, and that is the mortar right here. All of this other stuff, you can see the queen is going to pick that off, so he doesn't have any worry here. So this was an easy one with regards to that. The problem with this base, again, was that central core that we talked about. We got to make sure that this group of earlier balloons goes in there. So what that means is he's going to deploy on the second air defense a lava hound while the first air defense is still up. Now, what this does is going to allow him to hurry his balloons in with a haste spell and destroy some of the buildings that would then focus, basically get his balloons to path away from the core. Now, once that expo is the only thing left up in that compartment, the archer tower and the air defense are destroyed. Check this out. Now these balloons clump up on the expo, and they are going to path to the core where a rage spell waits for them, and they're able to quickly take that on. Now, as you can see, air targeting defense on the last little bit of the ring here. He makes sure that he drops a balloon on it. Point defense isn't as much of a threat as a wizard tower, but still it's good to directly target as many air targeting defenses as possible. The loons finish up on an air defense there to get things cleaned up, and that's going to do it. So, not a whole lot of cleanup left in this raid, but it looks like he's got enough there on the edge of the ring that Minion's going to help get things done. The Loons get a good split, and he does pick up that 3-star for the good guys. So Tisdale, nice job there. Some keys to that raid were definitely the timing on that and forcing the earlier group of Loons through the core where the defenses that were not in range of those air defenses, so they weren't going to get tanked by lava hounds. That way they could get directly targeted by a large group of balloons and end up getting taken care of. Now, here's another one we're going to look at, guys. This one's a better setup for a Laloon raid. Everything pretty much is in range of these air defenses except for a couple of the very outskirts buildings, the wizard towers. Luckily, though, these wizard towers are all directly targetable. They're on the very, very outside of the base. That's something that you don't necessarily need to worry about. Outside of the range of all air defense are his wizard towers. This was obviously done on purpose. He's going to get the upper one taken care of with the heroes, and one golem goes in, and it's targeting the air defense that he's hoping to take out. So golem explosion will do a significant amount of damage to an air defense, and then the golemites turning around to actually attack that as well. Usually do most of the damage there, the explosions. As long as you can get a max level golem to an air defense, it is going down. So again, guys, notice the balloon deployment here. He makes sure that he does not forget the first buildings on that defensive ring. So the cannon there, that's going to get those loons in there to take out the mortar. As you can see, he sweeps through that section very, very efficiently. And everything else is in range of these air defenses, notice, except for this wizard tower. But again, only for a second does that thing bother him. He does target 2 balloons to it to go ahead and directly target it and take it out. The loons go ahead and help the haste helps the loons along. And he targets, again, you can see the haste spell and the 2 balloons on the edge of the defensive ring. They're getting that wizard tower specifically taken out. And at this point, really, just smash the base. All there is a Tesla left, but there's far too many loons left at this point to get that taken care of. Both hounds pop here at the very end, and that gives him an absolute ton of cleanup to go ahead and take out the rest of this base. So Yagmer, awesome job, man. And we'll check out one more raid, guys, to watch this Town Hall 9 Laloon in action and hopefully pick up some more tips from it. So we're going to look at 29. This one was Lucas again. Lucas has been killing it, and air raids have been his thing. So this one looks to be a Penta Laloon. He drops a giant there in a hole in the base. Regardless of what that was, look for bases where there's a CC that you can lure without having to, take out any defenses or whatever. So what he does is he groups up the the troops here as best he can, gets the troops exposed. He's going to have to use the Archer Queen ability here. He does get that baby drag targeted, which is, those are ruthless on defense, I'll tell you what. But now, he goes ahead and he drops his king in there as well. He zap quakes the backside, but notice again, guys, we'll start, here on the left, and he is determined that the start of his defensive ring, he's going clockwise around the base. He's just going to break it off here, right around this cannon archer tower, and then work his way around the base. But again, guys, look at all the air targeting stuff, and it is in range of an air defense pretty much everywhere in this base, with the exception of the backside where he's zap quaked out a defense. But really, look at what he's got to focus on here. Everything, even in the core where there's these potential Tesla and Tesla farms, those are in range of an air defense. Now, what he's removed as far as Lava Hound pathing, by taking out this air defense back here, all he has to do is directly target 1 archer tower. That thing can get taken out easily. 1 wizard tower. This air defense is actually in range of the archer tower here. So, that could be occupied. But then down here, specifically, archer tower, wizard tower. So this section down here could be a little bit of a trick. But as long as you realize where those spots are before you go into the base, that's how you determine, okay, I might need some spells for that, or I might need a subset of troops for that, by sending my king in or something like that. So you can see his queen does get the wizard tower taken out, so that's less of a threat down there. But look at how he's got his hounds going in. He's got a couple going into the next air defense already, sends in his troops, and that's going to force his balloons to the core. Watch this air defense go down. Look where the first group goes now. They actually go towards the core, and then he makes sure that he directly targets that. And then he deals with the wizard tower on the backside and the archer tower by sending the lava hound from that angle into an air sweeper. And look at that. The balloons took no damage, and then all there is left up there is ground targeting stuff that the loons can just sweep in, take out with no issue at all. And then at this point, there is 1 defense left in the base. That is the archer tower down here. He has saved 2 balloons for it. He will wait until he's hoping to maybe pop another lava hound here, have one of them get in range. You can see that the archer tower does lock onto the hound. If we can get that to pop, possibly some more cleanup here. So he's being very patient, waiting for this archer tower, and I don't know that it's going to pay off this time, but he gets close. That's just something to keep an eye on when you are attacking. Pay attention to what is left in the base. If you know that it's a done deal, hold the loons back. As you can see here, he drops 1 loon over there for cleanup. And then I believe he drops another loon on the top. Yeah, there we go. over here on the top right, he just did that to help with the cleanup process. Make sure that one of those balloons pathed into this gold storage. That's going to be the last thing that gets taken out. You know, if you're smart with your Loon deployment and you know that you don't need, you know, everything in your army camp to take out the rest of the base, that can really, really help things. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video as far as some of the tips that I look for when trying to pick apart a base. Definitely make sure when you're deploying your Loons that you get the front end of that defense ring. Make sure you don't miss it. Otherwise, you're bound to have a lot of headaches later on in those raids. And make sure at the end of the defense ring that if there's a wizard tower there, you save some balloons to deploy specifically on that building, or else it will make your day very, very, very bad. Other than that, one golem per air defense on the entries. You can actually send in a shattered entry, two golems for 2 air defenses. Now, that's not as commonly seen just because a lot of people are making their bases pretty clever. And 2 air defenses are not always guaranteed, along with the queen, CC, etc. So, other than that, guys, save your spells for difficult areas of the base that are not covered by lava hounds. Save your rage spells for Tesla farms. Other than that, that's about it, guys. Hopefully you've enjoyed the tips. Hit the like button if you liked it, and I will be back very soon with the actual war recap from this war. It'll be uploading right now as we speak, and I will set it to come out sometime later today. Anyways, guys, this is Powerbang. I'm signing out till later, guys. Take care.